You had Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, hitting 521 home runs. 521. He had some amazing seasons. He drove in a ton of runs. A $134, 125, 128, 41 home runs, 40 home runs, 35 home runs. Then he clearly tailed off at the end. And the Big Hurt is in the Hall of Fame. The Big Hurt won 2 MVPs. He was one of the most critical hitters, crucial hitters, clutch hitters of all time, arguably, but certainly of his generation. Only made 5 All-Star games, though. The Big Hurt had an amazing run there, but he was overshadowed by these guys that played longer and had greater home run totals in a lot of ways. And I think he's got a really good argument because I went back and looked at home run leaders of the 1990s. And you truly could make the argument that Frank Thomas was overshadowed more than anybody else. Listen to this list of home run hitters and think about their steroid connection. Number 1, in the 1990s, Mark McGwire hit 405 home runs, admitted to taking steroids. Number 2 was Griffey, never connected to it, 382. So he's clean, as far as we know. Number 3, Barry Bonds, 361. We know he took steroids. He's even said he took the cream of the clear, but just didn't know it was a steroid. It was flaxseed oil. Number 4 was Albert Bell. Never directly connected, was connected to a corked bat, did have a monster temper, and people wondered aloud about Albert Bell in the 1990s. Number 5, Juan Gonzalez, named in the Mitchell Report. Number 6, Sammy Sosa. Number 7, Rafael Palmeiro. Number 8, Jose Canseco. And number 10, Matt Williams, who was busted for taking steroids and HGH in 2002. Look at that list of the top 10. The only guys that are clear are Frank Thomas and Ken Griffey Jr. And Thomas is number 9 on the list of the 1990s. It's pretty amazing. He's right. He's in the Hall of Fame. But had there not been, if Frank Thomas was clean, and had there not been this incredible explosion of steroids across the league at that given time, Frank Thomas's place in history would be so much higher. So much higher. And I realize that that is the argument for keeping steroid guys out of the Hall of Fame, is that not everybody was doing it. A lot of guys were doing it, but not everybody. But boy, I wonder, what happens if this list is the ratio of steroid users in baseball at that era? Is it possible 8 out of 10 players took steroids in that era? Is it possible that it's closer to 75% than 25 or 35%? Is it possible 3 out of every 4 guys was taking steroids at that time? At least for these home run hitters, and maybe that's a little slanted because they're home run hitters. But that's a pretty eye-popping number. 8 out of the 10 guys on that list, at least 7 out of the 10, depending on where you fall in Albert Bell, took steroids.